What's going on, everyone? Welcome and thank you for stopping in. Today I have an overview to do for you guys. This will also include a semi first impressions, but I would like to do a full in-depth overview of this guy. This is the Giant Mouse GM9, and I haven't had many Giant Mouses in. I don't know that I've really handled very many of them at all. And upon unboxing this was loaned in to the channel by our good buddy, channel member, Carco. He loaned this in, and the most I've really done with this is unbox it and kind of fiddle around with it a little bit. Because they're not my knives, I'm not real interested in beating up on them, carrying them, and scratching them up, and so I have had little usage with this guy, but what usage I've had with it, I really like this knife. And I'm not 100% sure what the steel is. I want to say it's M390 from what I remember. I don't see any markings on the blade, but if I had to guess, it would be M390. And it just looks phenomenal. I love how thin and sleek it is. You have this awesome machine satin. It looks like you have a flat into a hollow here with a flat running up across the top. It's dual ground. It reminds me of a Tanto, which I think that it is, because you have this little point right here where it transfers into this edge. So I think that it is a Tanto blade shape, and it works real good for draw cuts and piercing type cuts. Now, I've only cut a little bit of paper, a little bit of cardboard with it. Nothing crazy, Carco. Don't worry about that, brother. The only means of deployment with this guy is this very minimal flipper tab. Now, the cool thing about it is you can push button it very easily, and you can light switch it. And it's very minimal, almost to the point where you don't even notice that it's there. It's very, very minimal, and that's all right with me as long as it works good, and it definitely works good. When I've been using it, I've been just doing the push button because you can get right up behind it and just push it. It's awesome. Kind of very similar to an auto. Autos having the button, the blade flies out. It's almost like a button, and boom, flies out. Good action. Pretty good detent on it as well. It's got phenomenal sounds too. It just sounds nice and crisp and clean. Yeah, got great sounds. The other very unique, cool thing about this guy is the pocket clip. Very minimal, very sleek looking. Works very well, in my opinion. Very cool little knife. I don't have, like I said, much experience with Giant Mouse at all. These handles are just awesome. They are like a brass. I want to say that they're some sort of brass, like an antiqued brass, and they just look phenomenal. The video won't do it much justice. I am using a different camera for this video just because my primary camera is overheated at this point, so I had to switch it up and use a different camera. This is a liner lock, and it has about 25% lockup. So there, and it's locked up like a bank vault. There's no up and down, no side to side, not even a tiny little hint of it. So it is locked up very good. And the other odd and cool thing about this knife is there's no chamfering here. There's no recession here. The only thing you have is a slight chamfer on that liner, but somehow, some way, it is very easy to get to and move over. They have it just, and it's not even really sticking out either. There's just enough room in there where it is ultra easy. You can come in from the side, you can come in from the front. Very, very cool and unique knife. Normally, that is not the case. Normally, there needs to be some sort of recess here, or the liner is protruding, something like that. But they were able to basically keep this all flush, which looks clean and good, but still give you good access. So that is impressive from Giant Mouse, in my opinion. And if you're not familiar, Giant Mouse is not made in America. It's also not made in China. It is an Italian manufacturing, so it is manufactured in Italy. And I know one of the first questions I may get asked is it heavy? And I don't think that it is. At least not for a full brass handle. Now, it is a little heavier, but it doesn't feel heavy in the hand. It doesn't feel heavy in the pocket. It is coming in at 535 ounces, so it's not light by any means, but like I said, it is not heavy. I mean, you can tell there's some weight to it, but it feels very good. It feels like good weight. I don't know. So the balancing point's going to be back here. I mean, it's pretty good, in my opinion. You have a balancing right there, which is right about where you're going to be gripping the knife. I mean, you could be choked up here a little bit. But in my opinion, it's not, but I'm not needs to be a lightweight guy either. So that's my perspective on it. So we got the weight. Let's get our fat boy out from Stanley. So we have a 3 1/4 cutting edge with just under 3.5 total. And we are coming down around 7 and just shy of 7/8. So this is almost an 8-inch knife. We'll go ahead and do some size comparisons. Let's bring out the SBD Sharp by Design Mini Evo. We also have the Ferrum Forge Dow. So those are pretty close, a little shy on both of those. How about the Oser F22, the Urban EDC Supply exclusive version? That is dead on right there. That is ultra close. How about the Null Knives Raiden? Very close as well. So if you have either of these knives, it is ultra close to both of those. How about two more? There is the Arcane Designs Crawler, and that bad boy is also very close. How about one more? The Kaiser Clairvoyant. And the Clairvoyant is a little bit bigger than the Giant Mouse. So if you have any of those, that gives you a good idea on the size of this guy. And like I was saying, it doesn't have a real wide profile thickness. Let's put it up against the Oser. And it's not thick by any means. The Oser is actually a little thicker than this guy is. So it's got a pretty slim and sleek profile. The action, like I was saying, is on point. Your only means of deployment is that flipper tab, and it works very well. Very sleek. Action's great. Like I said, no lockup issues, no movement side to side, up or down. Very, very good. The hardware, which is very minimal on this guy, I think is T8. Let's go ahead and double check. So you do have T8 on the body screws and T8 on the pivot, Stanley stubby, in case you're wondering. Pocket clip is going to be T8 as well. Yeah, T8 as well on the pocket clip, guys. There is no detent lash, no lock stick issues, no issues that I have been able to find with the knife. And I know Giant Mouse has had their issues in the past, but I think, you know, over time they have corrected it and made things right. I hope so, at least. At least that's, you know, what I have found. My impression of this knife is, if they have a properly heat-treated M390 blade here, this is a phenomenal knife, in my opinion. You know, it's like a gent carry, a little heavier duty because of the brass, but it's got a nice profile. In the closed position, it looks amazing. Very, very well done from Giant Mouse. And getting something like this in on loan opens my eyes to being more optimistic about Giant Mouse knives. And there's a little bit of fine jimping up here. I didn't even mention that or remember that it was there. Works pretty good, actually. But Giant Mouse was a company that I pretty much would overlook and not pay much attention to, you know, as I'm scrolling, you know, the knife retailers and companies and whatnot. It's just not a company I looked at because, you know, I always have in mind the issues that they've had in the past. But after having a couple different knives from Italy in, none from Giant Mouse, but I have had some other Italian-made knives in that I really, really like, and I really like this one. So it has opened my eyes up to, if I find a design that I like, that I might actually pick one up. So that is the Giant Mouse GM9. If you're still here and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below the video. I'd love to have you here. Give the video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Otherwise, guys, I will catch you on the next one.